All right, so you guys remember how I told you that you can expect some changes on the YouTube channel here for 2020? Yeah, well, check this out. Uh, Bought a little boat. Well, I bought several boats in order to get to this point, and the journey continues. We'll be buying another. We'll sell this boat and buy another boat, and until we get the kind of boat that we want. But currently, we are working on a 16-foot. This is actually a 1961 uh, glass bar citation. It's one of those cruiser boats. Had a big, large front deck, uh, double console with double seats where you can put a lot of people in the bow of the boat for like tubing and some lake running the weekend stuff. Not really for fishing, but apparently the person who had it, maybe not before me, but probably the person before that, went ahead and cut out the front bow, built some new gunnels, built a center console and a seat, and made it a center console. And I looked at it when I saw it. I kind of didn't want to get it, but um, either way, for the price, I decided to go ahead and get it. We'll talk about the price and the finance part of getting to this point, and probably another video, probably not this video, but what we're doing, we've had this boat for a while. We've taken it for runs. I got to tell you the whole story. All right, so this whole boat thing all started. I've always been a fisherman, but life happens. Kids come, starting a business, all this other stuff, kind of get sidetracked from doing what I really enjoy doing. So I decided that we're going to start fishing. We've been fishing, probably pretty consistently for the past few years, but we've been bank fishing, things like that. And then decided that, maybe I should get a boat. It's probably time that, I could probably get a little boat and be able to afford it just fine and not have to worry about it now. It's nothing special, and it's not new. I mean, it's an old boat, but it'll get us on the water and get some fish in the refrigerator. So anyway, it all started. I had a canoe, probably do some little paddling out in the creek, maybe out in the lake a little bit. But the first motorboat was and I think it was like a 1971 John boat, Polo Craft, like a 1432 Polo Craft. I paid the guy $300 for it. It did not have a title, but it was going to get me on the water. I didn't have a plan on putting a motor on it quite just yet. I just wanted to get on the water. We could paddle out to some lakes and ponds in the spillway and catch some catfish. But, after doing that for a while, I decided I'm going to get a little motor, so I ended up buying a 25 horsepower Mercury because I've been looking at these tiny boat builds. I found this community called Tiny Boat Nation. So if you guys are into John boats and wanting to deck out your John boats like bass boats, check out Tiny Boat Nation. They got a lot of people there that are doing this stuff, and it's a pretty awesome community. But I had the Mercury 25, and I'm a big guy, and having that on the small John boat, as narrow as it was, it just didn't work out. So I downgraded and got an Evinrude. I traded a guy for that Mercury 25 for a 15 Evinrude, and that motor actually worked out perfect. Went out in it a few times, did some catfish lake fishing, and me and Andre went out into the intercoastal waterway with the boat, actually. Uh, this is actually one of the longest runs we've ever run in a boat, and it actually shut down. I think I flooded the carburetors on it, and it wouldn't crank back up. And panicking because there was a cold front coming in as this was happening, I flooded the carburetor and we ended up having to get towed back in. But got that straight, went out and fished. The boat was great, probably ran about 15, 20 miles an hour. It was a nice little John boat. So I ended up putting that for sale. And you see, for the motor, I paid $250 for the motor, $200 for the boat haul. So we're at $450, and I sold that haul for $200, and I sold the motor for $600. So it brought us a total up to $800. So we almost doubled our money. And with that, we bought another boat. It was a 17-foot skiff. It's kind of what I originally wanted. It's like a little lake skiff. It was a homemade title on it, fiberglass hull. Pretty solid little boat. Had some soft spots in the floor that needed to be repaired, but I plan on pulling it all up. Was decking it out, and then while I have doing this, these boats are listed for sale. And another guy came along, and I had this motor on it. This is a 1990 Evinrude. I went and got this motor. I bought this motor for $150 from a car dealership. The guy bought a boat with with a newer motor on it, and ended up just trading it out. And this boat's been sitting in the shop at his dealership for a while. It was all black, it was hand painted. They left masking tape on it and let it dry up on there. It was in really bad shape. I painted this motor actually twice. I did a nice blue on it, but it was really kind of too flashy, so I went back white with it. And then the first time we put it on the boat and ran it, I spilled some fuel inside of here because I had a fuel line leaking, and it ran down and ate all the paint. And I still got some body work to do to the hood and get that together, but the whole thing's going to need to be sanded and painted again. We're actually going to remove it. I have some plates. We have some plans for this boat. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I had paid $150, and I probably got another $100, maybe $150 in parts on this motor. Well, anyway, I had this motor on that skiff. In my opinion, this motor was a little bit too much for that skiff. It probably would have did better with a 70, something a little bit lighter. But I ended up listing it for sale. I had it listed for like $1,200, I believe. Guy wanted just the haul and trailer. I sold him just the haul and trailer for $800, and I got to keep the motor. So great, that's fine. And then we ended up buying this haul after that for $300 with title, you know, the whole thing. The floor is solid. It's just a wooden floor. They pulled it up. The stringers were solid, but they pulled all the soft plywood that was under the fiberglass originally up. I guess when they did all of that, they got some heavy epoxy paint on the plywood, and so it's pretty sturdy. Got a few changes. We're gonna walk through this boat in a minute, and I'm sorry if this video is a little long. Just trying to get you guys to understand what we got going on here. It's still a lawn care and landscaping channel, but we're gonna show a little bit more of what we do even when we're not at work. I mean, we got tons of videos of us out doing flower beds and mowing lawns, and there's tons of other YouTubers out there that are doing the same thing. So it gets a little bit boring. So we're gonna show you some different stuff here. But let me turn this camera around. We're gonna walk through the boat, and I'm gonna show you what the boat is. We'll probably do a cold start. Hasn't ran. I just brought it home from storage yesterday evening. We went out to some parades yesterday. So I didn't have enough time to do anything to it. I did get all the wires tucked in on the floor because I had the wires just kind of sitting on the deck and hooked up to the thing, but we kind of got everything tucked in under the floor, got that in there, and didn't get a chance to run it yet. We're trying to change gas tanks. Just found out that the bigger fuel tank, the fitting is leaking, so we're gonna go ahead and put the smaller gas tank. Nicholas, you want to do that? You want to put the 3-gallon back together and put that back on the boat and pour the gas back in it, and we'll do a cold start on this. And we'll show you it running. I'll bring the tub out, put some water in it, and we'll walk through everything and show you guys what we have planned for this boat. This is Nicholas's fix for the fuel line leak. It was leaking from this plastic fitting. It's got a couple of cracks in it. That's electric tape, and he thinks it's gonna work. You want to go ahead and pump it? Pump the primer up there. Let's put some fuel in it. I'm gonna show you what gasoline is gonna do to this electric tape. Pump it until it's hard. Okay, let it go. That's good. It's hard. Like just try to squeeze it. You can't. Okay, good. All right, now come over here. We're gonna go and crank it up. Yep. All right. Let's hook it up to the truck and we'll get it, jump it off. Let's see if we were looking to make sure. Go ahead, try to fire it up. Alright, that's good. We're going to set this up. We're going to do a cold start on it. It's still not leaking. So Nicholas may have actually fixed the leak. Good job, brother. More trimming in. That's it.